Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. On the 8th of the month, we will have this month's new moon, and I do think this will be one of the more important moments of 2022 for you. And I say that because this new moon is hand in hand with a retrograde Mars. Mars is your ruling planet. Mars does go retrograde about every year and a half. And when it does, this is energy that you feel. It makes you that much more reflective and insightful. It encourages you to know yourself that much more deeply, to cultivate meaningful self-knowledge as you prepare to understand what it means to act from that place. Well, you've been engaged in that process in one way or another. We have had Mars in shadow since September. It was just before Halloween that Mars went retrograde, and Mars will continue to be retrograde right into the middle of January. So here we are. We've got this important moment where some of the more confusing energy of the Mars retrograde season starts to feel behind you, but here comes a new moon, and ultimately it asks you, what are you going to do with this time? Where is it now that it is going to help you in some way begin again, to perceive differently, to understand differently? Where is it now that you may be ready to acknowledge what it is that you truly desire to express and to explore in terms of ideas or what you want to learn? This can be a remarkable time. There are fresh and energizing new beginnings, but hand in hand with them comes a need for maturity, which is rewarded, but also an acknowledgement of what is not working and to make peace with that as well. And I say that because this new moon will be speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn, but also in a conversation of tension with Neptune. And so that adds that element of an easy maturity that ends up being rewarded thanks to Saturn, but the confusion and that sense of disappointment that might be there for some Aries out there. It is this new moon and the Mars retrograde season that has been taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with communication, conversation. It has to do with synchronicity, being in the right place at the right time, connecting with the right person, and it can make all the difference for you now. It has to do with siblings, cousins, and neighbors as well. And so it could be one of these people cultivates a very strong response within you, but it also gives you a chance to see how you may now be ready to be different in some way, maybe ready to begin again or have a fresh chapter where it comes to your understanding of how to deal with, interact with, and address these particular types of people. This can be a time that is rewarding in its own right and uplifting as well. But ultimately, this is a time that restores you to a sense of mind level clarity. That clarity may come about through a random interaction with another person, but again, it makes all the difference. It helps you to understand some truth about yourself. It helps you to go inward as part of understanding what new beginnings are actually worth embarking on, that are actually in alignment with some sense of authenticity and truth about you. There is a new moon on the 23rd of the month, and there are a few things that make this time especially fascinating. So on the one hand, it is happening at the very top of your sky, having to do with career, having to do with life purpose, and a sense of what a higher, more loving vision for your life may be. However, it's taking place at the beginning of this part of the sky, which means that that emphasis on beginnings is that much more highlighted now. But it is less than a week later that Mercury will go retrograde in this same part of the sky. As much as there is that sense of new beginnings and feeling ready to get out there in the world in some way, ready to align with some bigger career goals that you may have, or to take steps to align with a deeper sense of life purpose, to turn that into a career path for you. Well, it looks like it's almost like, as they say, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's the thing with Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde invites us to go back, invites us to go within, invites us to reflect that much more deeply. But also, Mercury retrograde is a time to get honest about, for you in particular, why it is that you're going for what you are, why it is that you have the goals that you do, and if they're actually in alignment with what it is that you truly feel that you're meant to do at this point in time. If it is that you get an opportunity to embark on a new career, opportunity that absolutely could happen, things like interviews and audition situations can happen, especially under the light of the new moon. Just know that once Mercury does turn retrograde, what happens is either the role changes or you realize the expectations were different than you thought that they would be. If there is any sense of doubt or frustration, well, all of that can come to the surface as we finish off the year and enter a new year as well. And so I think that Mercury retrograde here is going to help you to cultivate a sense of honesty about what it is that you really want to do, what it is that you feel that genuinely aligns with that higher, more loving vision for your life. Now, this energy can also suggest new bosses, new people in positions of authority, or perhaps for you, new responsibilities, a new sense of you becoming a boss in your own right as well. Well, what type of boss do you want to be? How to best go about influencing those people who are supervisors in your life? Well, this can be one of those moments where just when you think you're on a brand new chapter, a brand new page, you realize that there may be some nuances that you may need to work out. That really is okay as well. It's part of helping you to understand those key relationships with the authority figures in your life, but also to help you understand yourself as well, to understand those larger goals you have so that you keep that in mind as you navigate forward from here. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be about 10 days into the month when Venus will change signs, moving into the top of your sky as well. And when Venus moves in here, what tends to happen is that you start to look at what you deserve in love differently. And there's an invitation here to raise your standards in some way and to look at where it is that you've compromised certain key factors that maybe are actually genuinely important to you. And so for those of you open to meeting someone new, what can happen with this is that sometimes there are key flirtations with people who are bosses or people in positions of authority. This could really take you by surprise under the light of that new moon that I spoke of just earlier on the 23rd of the month. That can be part of that fresh perspective that does transpire now. Either it is somebody who is in a position of authority or someone who's achieved something that you admire to achieve for yourself as well. It is also this energy that is going to have you looking at where you've been in the past in love, where it is that you settled for less, what types of, when you consider what you deserve, what ultimately is superficial and what is actually deeply meaningful to you. These are part of the distinctions that you likely are going to be making throughout the majority of this month and as you head into a new year. For those of you just starting to date somebody, what a remarkable time this can be. In the context of dating, again, it's about considering whether or not this person aligns with some higher goals that you may have for your life, but also how do you feel about being with them, how you're treated? Do you feel like they are matching that place of what it is that you deserve? Do you feel like there's a sense of self-respect for you as you interact with this person or not? These are going to be some guiding questions for you now. And if you truly feel like this is a person that you can align with some shared and larger goals together, well, that's where things could really accelerate at a time like this. For those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be as well. It is all about those shared goals that you have together, thinking very big picture, and understanding what it is that you're going for in a larger sense becomes part of the focus for you at this time. Now, the exception to this is if you've known for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, it might be at this time that you are considering what it is that you feel you deserve, where it is that perhaps you've accepted less, and whether or not some of those factors are a deal breaker for you now and moving forward from here. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It is an important astrological moment. I'm going to say, in addition to all that I mentioned, on the 20th of the month, well, that is when we are going to have Jupiter re-enter your sign. And Jupiter will be there right into May of 2023. This is very special. Think back to what happened earlier this year. It was that period of time that we were in between the later part of May and right into the fall, that we had these key energies playing out as you had Jupiter just dip into your sign and then move out. Well, now here we are. We get chapter 2, the second and final chapter of Jupiter in your sign. This is going to encourage you to see yourself more grandly than you have in a while, but also to take the best of some of the lessons that might have been there last year and to now incorporate them that much more deeply. To take the best of what you learned in the middle of 2022 and to carry that forward, not only into a new year, but chances are for just about every Aries out there, it really is likely to feel like a brand new chapter as you start a brand new year for your life. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. I look forward to meeting you there. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.